Longevity. That's the word everybody knows. And yes, we want to live longer and longer. And since, I guess, since people live on Earth, they try to find the water for life or try to find any remedy or treatment or whatever to make them live forever, to make life eternal. But as far as I know, nobody ever found it. And yes, actually, I think it comes from the fear of death. So if we would expect death in peace and harmony and think, wow, this is just a step to another part of life, just a step into another dimension, and everything will be easy and wonderful once we did that, then I think we would not long so much for staying longer here on Earth than we do. Hello, dear friends of fairy tales. This is Jadwiga, your fairy tale teller, and I have three little stories from people who wanted to live longer. And they show this is not just our part of the earth, because these stories come from Israel, from India, and from Thailand. And I bet there are many, many more. So now listen to the first story. Once upon a time, there was a woman. Oh, she was pretty old, and life had had many ups and even more downs for her. But now, since she was maybe 80 years or older, she felt quite healthy. She felt happy. She had enough money to make a good and nice living. And she thought to herself, I don't want to go now. Just now, as I'm happy, I don't want to leave. This would just be a pity, because there have been so many years in my life when I have not been happy and I had to live on. And sometimes I had longed to just stop and finish this life. But now I enjoy it. Now I want to keep it. Now I want to just stay here and enjoy my happiness. So she had heard of an old wise man who lived high up in the mountains, and she went up, and after quite a long time, she eventually found his little cabin. And the man was already waiting for her. And he said, Hey, what do you want? Why do you come here? And the woman said, Listen, I am old, but now I'm happy. And I want to live, if not forever, so at least another long, long period of time. Is that possible? Can you tell me how to do that? Said the old wise man. Let me think. And after a long, long while, he said, Well, if you don't drink any wine, if you don't eat any cake, if you don't eat the nice meat, if you reject men, if you stop dancing, if you stop singing, and then I will live forever? I don't know, said the man, but it will seem endless to you. So now the woman understood. She said, thank you very much. And she went down that hill and she enjoyed wine and cake and men and dancing and singing and the cake and whatever she loved, she enjoyed it. And she had a very happy life for the rest of the time she spent here on earth. Yeah, and there is another story. It is from India. and it's from King Solomon. We all know this was a very wise king, but even he sometimes had sorrows and did not really know what to do. So one night he was sitting on his throne all alone. Nobody was there. It was dark. And he thought, well, I am old. And what will happen to my country and to my people when I pass away? Who will follow me? Will that be a good and wise king, or maybe a bad one who brings war and unhappiness and struggle over that country? What will happen? And while he was thinking like that, an angel appeared, an angel who held a glass of water. And this angel said, listen, God Father himself sent me. This glass has the water of life. If you drink it, you will live forever. You will never, ever die. But if you don't, you will soon pass away. And with these words, the angel disappeared, and Solomon was sitting there holding this glass in his hand, and he did not know what to do. So next morning, he called all the wise people in his country and said, what do you think? What should I do? And everyone said, drink it, then you will live forever and you will be the best king this country has ever had. I mean, you are already, but forever, for centuries, for decades, this country will be happily ruled by a happy king. Solomon was not sure. And since he liked to get advice from as many creatures as possible, he also called the animals. And he asked the animals, what do you think? Should I drink that water? And all the animals said, yes, do that. Isn't this amazing to live forever? Only one animal said nothing. And after all the others had finished talking, this animal stepped forward. It was the hedgehog. And the hedgehog said, Your Majesty, I have one question. Is this water just for you? Or does your family, do your loved ones, do they drink it too? Are they eternal just like you? Or if it's just for you, remember, all the people around you will pass away. Everyone you love, you will lose. And young people are coming and growing, and you don't have any relation to them. Maybe you don't even understand them. Maybe times change, history rolls over that country, and you are confused and don't know what to do. But one thing is for sure, you will be very, very lonesome if this water of life is just for you. King Solomon thanked the wise hedgehog, and he said, yes, it is just for me. And thank you that you prevented me from drinking that, because now I see eternal life doesn't make happy. Yes, and the third and last story is from a man who almost succeeded to become eternal. It was an old man who had just gained some money, and he felt quite fit, and he prayed to the king of death and said, please, please, please come. I want to live at least 1,000 years. And And he did that for many, many nights. And one night, eventually, the king of death came and said, "Why do you disturb me? What's the matter?" And the man said, "Oh, please, please, I want to live for 1,000 years. Can you do that?" "Sure, I can," said the king of death, "but are you sure you want that?" "Oh, yes, yes, I want that. And when you fulfill that wish, please, I want my body to stay young forever, for all those 1,000 years." "Well," said the king of death, "I will fulfill your wishes, but I will never, ever come again. So if you regret your wishes, don't call me. I won't come." "Oh, that's wonderful. No, 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 I don't regret. I will never, never, ever regret. Just give me 1,000 years to live and a forever young body." Oh, that was it. He got it. And soon his wife passed away. And now, since he had the body of a young and very attractive man, he married a young woman. And they were very happy with each other. But this woman became older and much older and very old. And eventually she passed away. So he took another young woman, and the same thing happened. And besides his children, they passed away too, and his grandchildren. And the more he repeated marrying a young woman, the more people he had to let go. The more people he had loved went. They left him. They passed away, and he remained alone. And after a couple of 100 years, he was tired of always marrying another young woman. And he prayed to the king of death, "Oh, please, 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 I want to die. I want to die, really. Get me, take me, catch me, whatever. I don't want to live any longer. This is not what I wanted." But as the king of death had said, he didn't show up. So the man eventually gave away all of his belongings. He walked up into the mountains and sat down in a cave where he decided to wait for death. Because he had tried several things before to make his life an end. He had tried to drown, tried to burn, tried to poison himself, but it didn't work. He survived everything. And so he was sitting up there in that cave and waited for death, waited for the 1,000 years to pass. And I don't know whether these 1,000 years are already over, or maybe the king of death felt pity and caught him to himself. We don't know. But there is another question. Imagine we all, or at least many of us, live, maybe not forever, but much, much longer than we do today. So how many people will there be on Earth? And will there be enough space for us? Will there be enough food for all of us? I think our planet has limited capacity. And if we simply don't pass away, if we don't leave, it will be pretty crowded. And maybe life isn't so happy then here on Earth. I can't imagine that. So maybe this gives you an idea to think about that question. Do we want to live forever? And of course, if we want to be happy and healthy and rich and have everything we need and want. Thank you for listening. And yes, Thank you. And if you liked it, give me a thumb. And I hope to see you next time. Bye.